coming on this evening to basically give you guys some pointers and tips on what it is that you can do to stand out. And one of the main reasons why I wanted to talk about this topic was because I got an a DM from a student basically asking me if she was going to be able to get accepted into the program that she was applying to with her GPA and GRE scores. And my response is pretty much usually the same, because I really firmly believe this, that your GRE score and your GPA, while it is of the essence, I can't express how important it is not going to be the deciding factor, because, how many times have we seen that there are certain people with maybe a 3.5, right, or a 3.6, and the person with a 3.3 or 3.4 gets accepted. And there's many other little things that play a role in you standing out. And I wanted to basically give you guys three pieces of advice that will help you stand out. And I do not want to give you general advice that is normally given in the advising world. Like so many advisors will even tell you that you do not have the grades to get admitted. They will tell you that you need to improve this score, or they will tell you that you need to take these certain classes, which is true. But they're not going to give you the pieces of advice that are going to allow you to really stand out. And that's what I want to share with you tonight. I do not want to give you guys that general advice. Just get a good GRE score, get good grades, apply early. There's so much more to that when it comes to standing out. So, what is up, John? John actually has gotten accepted into OT school a little while back. So let's hear it up for him. Congratulations to you. But yeah, some of the things that I know have helped me, not even just when I was a pre-occupational therapy student, but even today, is just working on, number one, personal development. That's what's going to make you different from the other students that are applying. If you focus on your personal development, you are going to be focusing on developing a mindset that is going to be very different from other people's. You are developing your own thought. You are developing your own way of thinking about things and views of the world. And this is some of the things that they are looking at, because they're trying to see whether you are the type of person that pursues growth. Are you the type of person that can critically think for yourself? So personal development is just very, very key, and it's the only way that you are going to build your own way of thinking and thoughts as well, as you continue on through your life's journey. And we do this through the books that we read, we do this through the podcasts that we listen to, and maybe the TED Talks that we listen to on YouTube, stuff like that maybe get us to think a little bit different and allow us to focus on our own growth and what we can do for our profession or for our program or in our own lives. So, which brings me to my second little piece of advice to you all, is to focus on being interested versus interesting. So many times, especially when it comes to the personal statement, the interview, we can get so caught up on trying to be interesting. We can get so caught up on trying to come up with these elaborate stories in order to try to impress the committee or try to stand out But at the end of the day, you have to remember that what these program and people, because these are people that are, deciding whether you can, whether you get a spot or not, is what do you have to offer them? You need to make it about them. You need to make it about the program, the profession, and not about, how amazing you are and what great GPA you have. Like, it's important to shine, but the point is you need to make it about them, making the connection with them, and focus a lot more on being interested, and in the sense of showing them what it is that how you can help them. What is it that you can bring to the table to help the occupational therapy field be more recognized? What is it that you can, how can you help them be more of a recognized program? So it's about them. And I just really want you to remember that, and the connection that you are building with the people in the admissions committee as you email them and you go through the interviews, and as they read through the personal statement, you need to show that you are invested in the growth of the program that you are applying to, and invested in the growth of the profession. So focus on being interested versus interesting. And the last little piece of advice that I wanted to give you is to figure out what it is that you are not doing, because it's in the details that is going to allow you to be different. Everybody is going to have observation hours. It's required by most schools. If you are applying to a school that requires GRE, everybody's going to pretty much be reporting a GRE score. Some are going to be higher than others. Some are going to meet the minimum requirement, and some are not. But at the end of the day, it is not really about that. It's really more in the details of what it is that you are not doing. Are you not, building the connection that you need with your, the person that you are observing in order to get that letter of recommendation? Are you not really knowledgeable or honed in as to why this is the right profession for you? Are you not doing the things that are going to allow you to stand out in your observation hours? Like, or are you just kind of standing there in the background and not really asking questions and interacting? Is there something that, as you look at that personal statement, you think to yourself, you know what, I should add that, and I did not do that? You need to figure out what it is that you are not doing, because it's those little things that makes you different from everyone else. And it's your life story, your life circumstances that are going to allow you to think a little bit more differently than others. It's going to be your personal development that you engage in, that is going to allow you to just stand out in comparison to others, because you have more to either offer, or you think a little bit differently, or because you did something in your observation hours or in your personal statement, or you said something that was a little bit more different than your counterpart. So it's really about trying to hone in and think a little bit deeper as to what it is that you're not doing, and instead of focusing on, am I meeting the GRE requirement, and is this the GRE requirement, am I getting the score, like, am I going to get in? like that should not really be your focus. You should be focused on just trying to be the best version of yourself, being interested in the program. As obvious as that sounds, so many people apply to programs that they are not even really truly interested in to begin with, and they just want to get in anywhere. And that's why you have people that apply to so many programs and they're not even sure as to how to answer the question, why University of Florida? Why Texas Women University? When they're asked that in the interview, they're kind of caught off guard. So you really need to, again, hone in on these things that I've mentioned. I will recap very briefly on the 3 things that will allow you to be a little bit different, and that is number 1, engage in personal development, read books, engage in the focus groups that are out there on Instagram and Facebook that will allow you to learn a little more about the OT profession. Engage more with the people that you are shadowing, and allow yourself to grow and develop certain thoughts about the profession, about where you want to take your career, about how, like, where you should go to school. Like, these are very personal developing questions that will be very different based on your life circumstances, and again, focus on being interested versus interesting. I want you guys to really hone in on why it is that you want to be an occupational therapist and why you want to go to that particular program. Do not, not be able to answer those questions as you apply, because, again, you can come up with all these elaborate stories and whatever it is, but the programs are interested in what you can do for them as a program. Do you have something to offer them? So show them what it is and make it about them, and how you can bring recognition, or allow the program to be more successful. And the third thing, again, is to figure out and dive in a little bit deeply into the things that you are doing, not what it is that you are not doing. Like, focus on what it is that you are not doing. You could be getting the grades. You could be really, really good at the testing and have a great GRE score, but if you're not building certain connections, then you may not get the letter of recommendation that you want. So you need to maybe focus on that. Maybe you are not getting the GRE scores that you want, and so you need to figure out what is it that you need to do in order to improve that score. So you need to dive in a little bit more internally and figure out what it is that you're not doing, but you should be doing. And because that's what's going to allow you to be a little bit different. Everyone is turning in a GRE score. Everyone is turning in observation hours and reporting those. Everyone is turning in a personal statement and all this stuff, but not everything there is created equal. So you need to just be a little bit introspective and engage in that personal development, show them that you're interested, and figure out what it is that it makes you different to begin with, and what it is that you're not doing. I hope that this helps, and I will catch you guys next week at 9:30 a.m. This particular week I had to come on a little bit later due to work duties and whatnot, but I hope that it has helped you and that you can see that this is not the general advice that is given throughout the admissions criteria. A lot of people just tell you get good grades, get a good GRE score, but there's so much more to that, that allows you to be accepted or not. Because if it's just based on you getting a certain GPA or you just getting a certain GRE score. Some people, that should have not then gotten admitted did get admitted. You have the person that has the 3.3 that got in, but the person that had the 3.5 did not get in, and it's due to these reasons. The person with the 3.3 probably just thought a little bit differently because they read and were really well vested in their own personal growth and development. They showed interest in the profession and in the program, and they figured out and paid attention to the things that they were not doing and that they should be doing, and implemented that into their lives.